one of the topics I've been really fascinated about this year, especially, I touched on this a little bit on the podcast a few weeks ago. Excuse me about that. Is that the NBA ratings this year have been scarily, I'm going to call it a word, has been really low, lower than usual. I saw numbers that recently that the ratings this year so far are the lowest has been in 12 years. They're down, I think, 46% in comparison to 2012. The ratings compared to last year are low too, also. And I want to pause for a little bit on that too, also. There's a lot of factors that come into play when people want to put on ratings and why the NBA ratings are low and this and that, and the NFL ratings are high and all that. Let's be clear about the NBA. Well, first of all, this year alone, we had an election year, which is everybody's an invested election. Even myself, someone like me, who was a diehard NBA guy, my attention coming into the election this year in November was almost always on that. I wasn't locked in the NBA games as much as I normally would be. Yeah, football. Football is king shit in this country, both NFL and college football. And with the college football playoff now becoming a thing, the NFL season's been really, really, obviously very productive. That's going to eat away at that as well too. Okay, the baseball playoffs were actually really good this year. So there's a lot of factors that come into that. Now, I'm not saying the NBA ratings being low should not be concerning. They are concerning because a lot of things I spoke about on previous episodes on the show. You can check it out back about a couple weeks back. I might even put a clip out on my YouTube page at youtube.com/EarnestChristian. So if you can find a clip of that, you can check it out. My more unpacking that situation. But I think a lot of it too also, there's a lot of things the NBA hasn't fixed yet. And to Adam Silver's credit, he's been progressive as a owner, not just politically, but also in terms of trying to fix things, like trying to find things to garner interest. Doing this NBA Cup, which look, I can take it or leave it. Honestly, the NBA Cup, I watch the games anyway, whether it was exists or not. But he's trying different things. But a lot of it too also is the play itself, the aesthetics. The aesthetics are very one-sided now. It's very 3-point heavy. And again, I love 3-point shooting. I really do. But at the same time, a lot of folks like myself and maybe people who are just get a little tired of the product and the way it looks want something a little more diverse. They love 3-point shooting, yes, but they also love post-up play. They also love mid-range jumpers and all that good stuff. And a lot of people think that the game today is just a little one-sided, and I can see the argument for that because even I agree with that. And I'm a guy who loves 3-point shooting, but at the same time, it's egregious. Like when the Boston Celtics are shooting 40, 50 3-pointers attempts a game, that's a little ridiculous. So that plays a part also in that. And then we saw the ratings over Christmas this past week. Obviously, the NBA has always had Christmas themselves for years, and also now the NFL in the last couple of years has started playing games on Christmas Day. And the ratings, they rating, they had 2 games on Netflix this week. Granted, both games were actually pretty big games because all 4 teams will be playoff teams. You had Chiefs Steelers at the 1:00 game, and you had Ravens and Texans at the 4:00 game. All 4 teams are going to the playoffs. And the ratings, the numbers. I got this. I got this message here. I think that the Netflix game for the NFL, they drew an average of 24 million people to the NBA's 8 million people for their games. So there's concern there. But the thing is, I find the NBA versus NFL comparison stupid and lazy because here's the reality of that. The NFL will always get more ratings than the NFL than the NBA for one reason. The NFL is an event sport. It's week to week. Now, granted, yes, they put in some games on Wednesdays for the holidays. They put in a Thursday game, during this time of year they put in Saturday games, and they put in obviously Monday football. But the NFL is a week to week league. It's not that with the NBA where you have 3 or 4 games a week rather. Okay, and you can pick and choose what you want to watch, and those games sometimes don't coincide with your schedule. So they'll game either. It means a diehard Miami Heat fan. I'll admit this too. I don't watch every Heat game anymore because there are nights I'm at home and I can't watch them. So those NBA ratings are gonna look like EKG, up and down. That makes sense. That's gonna happen. And so I think a lot of the debates about the NFL is more important than NBA. Well, first of all, it is. People prioritize the NFL over the NBA. That's a fact. But there's a lot of other factors that people aren't also considering with that too as well. And I'm someone who, yes, I am a massive NBA guy. I do defend it a lot, but I've also been very honest about some of their misgivings and what they have not done and what they need to do to grow the product. And it doesn't have to be political, although people do make it political. There's also a lot of race baiting too with that. Let's be real about that. I've seen folks on the right side of the aisle who make a race thing. You know, trust me, I see you guys. I see you, Clay Travis. People like you, like stop. You know, so but yeah, there's a lot of things that factor that. The NFL is just an event. It's our only event sport. Okay, the NFL beats everything in ratings. If you look at the Nielsen ratings for the end of the year, every year. Look at their top 20 shows. Almost always, 18 and 19 of those shows are NFL-related games. The highest rated game this season, was Giants-Cowboys Thanksgiving. Both teams suck, okay? And yet those ratings are still high because of the market and the NFL and Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. Let's get real. The NFL is king shit. It is what it is, okay? So that's why. It's not that complicated. I know the reason people like to bring this up with the NFL versus NBA. A lot has to do with race too. Also, I'm just being honest, okay. But there's also real concerns that that's on the product the NBA is putting out as of late. Aesthetically speaking, is not good. So that's just that. Anyway,